This is Spinnaker3 here with an Alliance Wars showcase, and the theme of this video is going to be I will be eating my words later on. And what I mean by that is I've made a lot of bold decisions to bring my certain teams into war, and that ends up backfiring on me, but we'll get there later. So up first is a Hazard Shift Cosmic Ghost Rider, so I'm taking it with Void. So I can only hit into Cosmic Ghost Rider when he has that the Incinerate up because I'm Incinerate immune. But when he gets the poison, I want to sort of hunker back like I'm doing right now and sort of just parry him to get extra debuffs on him. Now, I do accidentally hit him in the poison phase, but it's not going to do a lot of damage. In fact, I'm healing up more from willpower. And that's why I like this matchup against Cosmic Ghost Rider. Because I'm a villain, Cosmic Ghost Rider places an indefinite armor break on me, which is free willpower healing. Now, right there, I do my medium attack, and he triggers dexterity, which puts the damnation on me. But then you notice the damnation triggers again. That's right, this fight was bugged, and it just threw me off. I hit him in the poison phase again. I started draining a lot more health, and then I decided to take a deep breath and start over. I'll show you the bug I mean later on in case you didn't catch it, but for now, I got my Fear of the Void up. My damage is going to be increased. My debuffs will land faster. So this fight should be under control now. I just have to wait out this poison period. And I just need to hit him when he has the Incinerate phase up. Now, you will be noticing a lot of waiting with Void. I tend to enjoy playing Void because there's a lot of waiting and I can still do a lot of damage through his debuffs. But you notice that this waiting period is good because I'm actually gaining back a lot of health through that armor break. So it actually means that I'm reducing the amount of potions that I'll need to consume. And so I'm just dashing back and then the debuffs finish him off. Now let's look at what happened. So right here, he triggers Dex. Damnation goes up because he had 5 buffs total. And then right as Damnation expires, another Damnation re-triggers. I was so frustrated to see this because that shouldn't be happening to my knowledge of in terms of how these nodes work. But unfortunately it did. So up next, I have an Omega Red, also on Hazard Shift. There's also Power Focus 1, which in my opinion makes Omega Red easier. I always dread pushing him to a Special 2 because the Death Field does more Spore damage to me. So because he has Power Focus 1, this is a much easier matchup. Now you notice my basic hits will be hitting for peanuts. Like there's no damage being done on my basic hits right now. Most of my damage will come from debuff damage and crits when Fear of the Void is active. So you notice right now he has the poison phase, so I'm just going to parry and go back. Now, if I stay too close to Omega Red and get 10 spores on me, even without his death field, it will do passive damage to me. So my goal is to make sure I have a lot of spacing throughout this fight. So you'll notice that I'll sometimes try and weave in a heavy or two, like I do right here, just to make sure I don't get pushed to my own corner so that I can wait out the poison phase and still have a lot of room to work with. So this fight is definitely going to be a lot slower. So just bear with it for a bit. It's pretty fun to watch, at least for me. I love just watching the opponent tick down from the debuffs. And it doesn't get boring, in my opinion, like Quake fights do. So right now I have my 6 debuffs. Fear of the Void is going to trigger. And that means my debuffs will start doing extra damage, which is nice. And if I crit, it'll also do a lot. So the reason I like to go for the parries instead of just dexing all the way is because my parries add an extra debuff, which does extra debuff damage to Omega Red. And it also means I don't get too far backed up into my corner and I can still retaliate. So this fight is going down slowly but surely. I'm doing very well in the health department. Accidentally triggered 10 spores here, but that's fine. The debuffs just finish him off and I end it with a special one. So there is no mini boss on this path, which I feel like I don't know why they didn't place it there. But up next, I'm going to be taking this Dr. Doom on Power Snack. Now, I always loathe fighting this Dr. Doom on Power Snack because it's just unavoidable shock damage. But at the same time, I didn't really want to use a champion like Quake. I much rather prefer using Void against Doom because Void can get up a Petrify pretty easily. And the Petrify shuts off Doom's aura. Now, you'll notice right here, right before the Petrify got on Doom, he launched his special one, so his aura did go up. So right now, I'm just having to dash back and wait for the shock to expire, because I don't want to get Doom slapped by a heavy. And if you've ever fought Doom on this node, you know that a lot of Doom slaps to heavies do come about, unless you're using a shock immune champ. But now that my Petrify is up, I want to not throw another special one, so I can have maximum uptime on this special the Petrify. And you notice right there, I got the special 2 flex dex, you know? It's always very fun to dex a special 2 with Void, in my opinion. And you notice right there, the special 1 triggered, but no aura did. That's because the Petrify is on him. So you notice I go for a special 2 because I want the Petrify to remain on Doom for as long as possible, because I don't want him to trigger his aura. And you notice that I haven't really taken many bad hits until right there I'd get doom slapped by a heavy. But most of the damage I've been taking in this fight is coming from those shocks. So I'm trying to play back so I don't get doom slapped in the face. That'll be the only doom slap, spoiler alert. So I do play the rest of the fight pretty safely. And now that I have 2 Petrifies up and Fear of the Void, I'm reversing Dr. Doom's healing, which means that he is just draining even faster. So right here, Doom's at a special 2. I want to bait this out. Once again, Doom's going to throw the special 2, Dex, Dex, and Dex. And I get the full special 2 Dex again. I'm very comfortable doing it because I take this fight quite a bit, at least Void versus Doom. And with this one special 1 and the debuff damage that comes afterwards, Doom drops. Now, the next fight is where I start to eat my words. Now, for those of you who don't know, I love Mojo. And so I bring Mojo to every war for this ebb and flow intercept path. And I take this Nova almost every time, and it ends very well. And I love using Mojo here because I'm so comfortable with Mojo's intercepts. But for some reason today, my brain decided to just forget how to Dex Nova Special 1. So you notice right there, I go for the intercept right away, remove the Fury. He auto blocks it like Nova generally does. I'm trying to get him to beta heavy so he can complete the prompt. I end up taking a little bit more block damage. But right there, I get the intercept. I have the big Fury. Things are going well. Now I just need to bait out the special 1. I complete the dash back prompt right as he throws the special 1. So my timing is completely off. Doesn't matter. I should evade the next one, right? I get dodge a hit. I'm just trying to dodge back, make sure I bait the special 1. And so I'm just backing myself up and he's not throwing it. And then he ends up throwing the special 1 really late. And then I just get clipped by it. I'm just going in my head like, oh no, this fight is not going as well as I had hoped. I go for a corner dex on the heavy. I want to land some kind of good damage to get some spacing. Another special 1 clips me. I get clipped by that special 1 3 times in a row. This is ridiculous. I've never been clipped by Nova Special 1 that time, but I guess my brain just forgot how to dex it. So I just throw a special 3 quickly to get back my spacing. I really need to get this fight back into control. I don't want to die with Mojo because people always ask me, why are you bringing Mojo into war? You know, he's super squishy. You're asking for a death pretty much. And I do it because I'm comfortable with Mojo. Right here, I'm trying to go for back into a corner. So I back into the corner. And now I want to bait this heavy and then I retaliate, go for an intercept, but I'm too late on it. He gets the unblockable and I just drop. Now that that's out of the way, I can show you what the fight is supposed to look like with Mojo. Because right here, unfortunately, it's going to drain my units. Luckily, I don't actually use any boosts unless I'm taking a boss fight. So I'm not too worried about like healing him up with all these potions because I'm also pretty full on potions. But this is how the fight is supposed to go. I mean, granted, it's not going to be perfect, but this is at least how the fight is sort of supposed to go. So I want to get the dashback prompt. I'm starting at a low number of subscribers because I've died with Mojo, which is unfortunate, but it's the price I'm going to have to pay. Right there, I finally get my first special 1 dex, and it just took way too long to actually land. Here, I try to go for a heavy to recycle the prompt, misjudge the spacing, whatever, not too big of a deal. I get his Fury off. I want to go for an intercept. So I'm trying to see when I have a good time to actually land a light intercept. So he doesn't go for it. So I'm just keep building up my subscribers and followers. I get another special 1 dex. Look, I promise you, I can dex the special 1. Look at I'm able to do it right now. Just that first match, something was wrong. Um, not blaming the game. I just think I had forgotten my muscle memory on dexing that special 1. No more excuses. I go for an intercept to try and remove that Fury, and it's gone. So I need to get another intercept to get some good damage in. And finally, he plays in. My prompt recycles. So this is going to have the massive Fury from the special 3, the massive Fury from the big Mojo Energy Sig ability. And this should hopefully do a bunch of damage. You can see how fast he's dropping. And then the degenerations are going to finish him off. Just look, I just need to play back and Nova drops. This is how the fight is supposed to go. not by me missing 3 special 1 dexes. Anyway, up next we have a Mole Man. And once again, this is Ebb and Flow Intercept, so I'm going to take my favorite Ebb and Flow Intercept champion, Mojo. And I like using Mojo on this node because Redoubled Determination means you shouldn't put debuffs. Mojo does a bunch of damage without debuffs. So right here, I'm going to try and go for a light intercept, land it right away. I have the hold block prompt. I'm a little iffy about completing it. I don't really want to because that's going to take a lot of block damage. But after a while, I let the prompt recycle and I get hold block again. So I just decide to complete it right away. I'm going to go for another parry. I do parry light just in case he shrugs it off pretty quickly. But now that I've gotten through my first prompt completion trickiness, I'm now going to try and go for these next prompts to complete. So Mole Man throws the heavy, prompt is completed. That's good. And now I'm just going to start searching for light intercepts. So once again, I'm going to dash back, go for light intercepts. He plays in, which is always so nice. And then I want to bait out this special one and go for some more light intercepts if possible. I have end of buff, so I use my dexterity to just complete it. And I want to throw my special 3 once I have my big fury up and the intercept fury up. So let's just count it off, okay? Right here, I'm going to go for a light intercept. He doesn't play for it. So I'm going to go for one. I just need to bait out this heavy, go for another light intercept. I get the intercept fury, protection is removed. And now I throw my special 3, which will complete my prompt and give me an anti-light field fury. And just watch how quickly Mole Man drops. This is why I love this fight, because I can sneak in a ton of damage into a very small window of time. Right here, Mole Man is just going down and down even further. I have so much fury, so much attack. I'm going to try to finish it off with another intercept if possible because protection is back. Doesn't play into it. That's fine. I can get it another time. I'm going to bait out this heavy. I'm going to try and knock him down with my special 1 so that I can complete the prompt. I want to make sure I always have my fury. Bait out this special 1. You know how it goes. I'm going to go for another light intercept if possible, but doesn't work. So I decide to plant it right here, get the light intercept to special 2, and that is all she wrote. Mole Man goes down. Now that Mole Man fight was really smooth, and another reason why I love using Mojo in War, even if it makes a mistake in the beginning, I can still pull back and still perform very well with Mojo. I'm just super comfortable with him. Now up next, I do have a Spider Ham on the Rage node, and so I'm going to be bringing Void in here, which is a weird matchup. Wasn't really assigned it, just figured I wanted to take it. But my goal in this fight is to make sure Spider Ham stays as low on his spider nonsense as I possibly can. And so Spider Ham gains spider nonsense when you, the opponent, is above a bar of power. So my goal is to dump my power as soon as I go above a bar. So that means throwing my special 1 almost immediately. So another reason I like Void is you see the debuff that just landed, that prevents evasion chance by 30%. And so once I get Fear of the Void active, I can actually make sure Spider Ham doesn't evade that much, even if he does have the spider nonsense. But I first have to ramp that up. So you notice I was luckily able to dump my power almost immediately, and that worked out. I'm just trying to get my debuffs on. And my goal is to not get any Porker Poppers on myself, because then I can't throw special 1s and get a lot of debuffs going. And unfortunately, that will end up happening. But you know what I say to that? That's just free willpower healing. So I just want to bait special 1s because I am not comfortable dexing Spider Ham's special 2. It's very all over the place, lots of fancy animations. I'd much rather stick to evading that special 1. So right here, I get Fear of the Void active, and I was waiting for that before I threw my next special 1. But unfortunately, he got a Porker Popper on me, which means I can't throw any more special 1s. But luckily, right now, his evasion chance is being reduced by 90%. So at this point, I'm feeling a little more comfortable if I have to go above a bar of power, because even if he can evade, his chance to evade is highly mitigated. And the other nice thing about Void is even though you saw that special 1 trigger the Rage, I'm barely triggering it because most of my damage is coming from either debuffs or reverse willpower healing. Now, unfortunately, Spider Ham gets pushed to a special 2, and this special 2 is fully unblockable. So I managed to dex past the first 3 hits, which I was not expecting to do. I do get clipped by the last one, which puts a bunch of Porker Poppers on me. Once again, like I said, free willpower healing. And he's at 10 nonsense. So I'm trying to hit him very few times. I'm trying to make sure he's stunned, and I'm just worried about him evading because 90% is still not 100. And that still means he has a tiny, tiny percent chance of evading, and I just don't want to take that risk. So right here, I'm just want to finish the fight. My special 3 will trigger rage again, so there's no need to throw it. I can just let the debuffs do the work, and Spider Ham drops, and I end up healing quite a bit of health compared to like that first hit of the special 2 that I took. So up next, I was kind of deciding where I wanted to go here, but I ended up just going for this Dragon Man on Hazard Shift, which is a common placement that I see, and Void honestly makes this fight very easy. Now, there is one thing I want to note here, and that is you have to be very comfortable with dexing against the wall. And you'll see what I mean. So, because he's stun immune, he can really back you up, and especially because he has a ton of power gain. So, now that he's above a bar of power, I want to take this on the block to steal his power gain, make sure it goes away, and turn it into a debuff on me, which is free willpower healing. That's a common theme of today's war. And there I could have taken the special one on the block, but right now he's in the poison phase, and I luckily have a Petrify up, which is good RNG, and I get the double Petrify, which is some of the best RNG you can hope for in this fight. So Dragon Man's power gain is completely under control. I get another special one on the block, get rid of the power gain just for free debuff, and now you'll see why you want to be good against the wall. When the poison phase is up, I don't want to hit Dragon Man, so I want to be able to dex his Flame Breath against the wall and take a bunch of blocked hits. Luckily, I have the debuff with the willpower healing helping me mitigate a lot of the block damage. So I'm kind of fine doing that. So right now he's at a special 2. I want him to throw it, but he's really not, which is a little unfortunate. So I'm just trying to dex against the wall. This is a very weird play style. I wouldn't recommend this, but he's not throwing his special 2, so there's nothing I can really do. I don't want him to go to special 3 and turn red. But luckily, I get another Petrify up with Fear of the Void active, and he turns to the Incinerate phase. So I can now freely hit him and not worry about a special 3 because his power gain is being reversed. So even if he gets red, he'll immediately drain down to his 2 bar of power special attack. So now the fight is a lot more under control, and I really am not worried about losing this fight. I just need to dex a few flame breaths against the wall. I'm very comfortable doing this again. If you take this fight enough time with Void, you get very comfortable doing it. And once again, Fear of the Void goes up. I've not triggered Protect, which I do find a little surprising, but it's pretty nice. I take the hit on the block to put the debuff on me again so I can get some willpower healing. And I just need to wait out one more phase of this poison. So just a couple of heavies I need to dex against the wall, no biggie. And now he's in the Incinerate phase, so I can just go ham and I can throw my special one, and that should finish this fight. Now up next is the next fight that I eat my words on, and that is using Guardian against an Apocalypse boss. Now if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I've done this fight before. And the boosts that I equip on are a 20% health and attack, 20% health, and a 10% attack. And I throw on an advanced power boost. First mistake right there, because I'm not really that used to playing Guardian with the advanced power boost. And I end up messing up my rotation because of it. But that was a small problem. The biggest problem in this fight was that I had made a claim before that 6 is the magic number, because that was always the case whenever I threw a special 2. But for some reason against this Apocalypse, it ended up being 6 ended up triggering Protect. So I actually ended up having a much worse time where I had to go for intercepts. Right there, I meant to go for a special 1, ended up going for the special 2. And that's why I was a little flustered and I completely lost my train of thought. So I'm trying to play this fight as safe as possible. I always go for the perfect block on the first 2 and then dash back. And I'm getting pushed into my corner, which I don't want to happen. So I want to start pushing him back. So that's why I interrupt his special, his heavy attack, just like I did there after the first hit. And my goal here is whenever I dex the special 1, I go dex, block, block. There I missed the perfect block timing, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to try landing it in the future. And so instead of immediately holding block, I sort of try to stagger my timing. Right there, 6 force field charges triggers Protect. I don't have my armor up buff. I take this entire special 2 beam hits on the block. A lot of block damage, but that's whatever. I get an intercept, luckily, which is nice. Here I go for the dex block block. That gets the perfect block power gain. I want to go for another intercept, land the light intercept to remove the protection stacks, and I go for another special one. Now that I've had a bit more experience with this fight, I'm going to just say right now, I think the special one is actually a bad idea. And I feel like having your armor up buff is more important. So I feel like for future fights, I might just go for special two off the bat without charging up a special one. Because you notice right here, I'm triggering protect on every single hit, which is not really supposed to happen. I mean, in my last Apocalypse takedown, it didn't happen. So I'm wondering if maybe my boost did something or I was just messing up the rotation completely. Point is, I ended up eating my words, which you can already tell this fight isn't going as perfect as I would have wanted it to. And right now, my goal is to just play the rest of it safe, right? So go for the Dex block, easy, gains the power, throw my special two, I want to first get rid of this protection stack. So I land the medium intercept right there, but it doesn't register. Thought I landed an intercept there, didn't register either. And right here, I was trying to go for an intercept, and that was where my mind was at. So I missed the perfect block completely, and I get a poison on me. And in case you haven't fought Apocalypse before, that's the end of this fight. I can say that right now. I shouldn't have pushed him to his special two. Now that I have, this fight is over because what happens when Apocalypse throws his special attacks and you have a damaging debuff on you, it places the other debuff on you, which in his case happened to be a degeneration. I get another poison on me that just completely drained me down. And unfortunately, I take a death on this fight. So I head back in, I revive myself up, heal up Guardian, which is a bit unfortunate. Not the kind of way I wanted to end this war, but at least it'll just be a two-shot. I'm very, very confident that Guardian can do this fight in a solo very safely. Um, I know I haven't done it in this video, but at least I have the experience where I know what I want to do for future Guardian versus Apocalypse boss takedowns. Step one, I'd want to throw the special one a lot less. Step two, don't want to throw on a special one, an advanced power boost, because it does completely throw me off. And step three, I need to just focus on what I'm doing with the perfect blocks, because if I miss the timing like I did right there, I'm donezo's. And if I do end up getting the poison on me, I should have just stuck to special ones. Here I eat a stun on accident because I block a light attack, which is a bit unfortunate as well. A lot of unfortunate things happening in this fight, which is why I said I do eat my words, because I did claim before that Guardian is such a good counter for this fight. And I do still believe that. I just implemented it pretty poorly here. So I'm going for the special two without actually throwing special ones because I've learned. And I'm going for perfect blocks on the, or I'm going for parries on the light attacks because he can't stun you if you parry it. And I'm just trying to get this fight down. I'm not worried about timing out. I'm just worried about taking stupid combos if I get a stun on me. So my goal is to avoid that at all costs. Here I throw another special two, and he has another special two lined up. I just need to dex this, do my perfect block strategy, gain some power. You know how it goes. Retaliate. And then I just want to build up to one more special two and finish this fight. Unfortunately, I missed my parry timing, but he doesn't combo me that much, so it does still go safely. Here, I just go for a regular block. I'm not trying to risk the perfect block again when I'm so close to finishing him off. And right here, I'm just going to try and bait a heavy for an easy opening, but instead I land the intercept. I throw the special two and Apocalypse goes down. Now that's what should have happened in the first run. Didn't, unfortunately. But I think now I'm better equipped to take these fights in the future, and I'm not going to miss the special one Dex on Nova anymore. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know. I know it's a little long, but I'd enjoy a comment or a like, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you later.